Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit that notification bell, get all the updates. Really excited for today's video. The beer is courtesy of Keith from 93 Lumber, spelled out. Thanks so much, Keith. I really appreciate it. It's also Saturday. On Saturdays, I do Cellar Saturday, where I drink something from my cellar or someone else's aged beer. That's what this is. So Keith gave me a bunch. If you didn't see the unboxing video, go watch that. It's a wild, wild box of beer. So this is Ralphius, Free Will is a brewery. Ralphius 2020's Salted Caramel. So when I did the unboxing, I didn't know what this term was. So it's Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels with Fleur de Sel. So it's you take the sea salt, and then when it starts to evaporate and you're left with the salt, it's the salt crystals at the top, which I guess are skimmed off with a special rake and everything. So it's that salt specifically. Man, there's a little bug down here. 14.1% ABV. So let's get into it. He gave me a bunch of Ralphius, and super excited to try an aged one. It's cool that it comes in a small can. You know, I'm definitely a big fan of small cans. No, I'm definitely for these huge ABV beers, and I mean this one's 14 and change. You know, the giant formats, I'm over that. You know, let's popularize. I mean, even their new stuff, it's not as small as this, but still manageable. I don't want to target the brewery, but why are you putting 20% beers in 750s? This bug's gonna drive me wild. All right, let's get into it. So yeah, it's that dark brown into black for sure. It's not quite motor oil, but it definitely looks like a big stout. Got about half a finger, probably was more like a 3/4 finger when I first poured it. Head, mocha color head, relatively compact bubbles, looks like a big stout. Let's get into the aroma. Chocolate, some roast coming through. Fudgy. I know it says caramel. I guess it all says the same no matter how I have it turned. But I do get caramelized sugars for sure. There's some oak, and it's giving me the impression of dry, which is kind of interesting. Very oaky, yeah, caramelized sugar notes for sure. I wouldn't say I get a salinity in the aroma, but yeah, that chocolate thing is awesome in this. It smells really good. Let's get into the glass. Cheers. Thanks again, Keith. Hope you're doing well. And guys, seriously, make sure you check out Keith. I'll add him in the description box below. 93 Lumber, spelled out. That wasn't the most, wow. That was not the most graceful sip I've ever taken. But immediately, forget what I said about not getting the salinity in the aroma. I love the amount of salt in this beer. Wow, it really makes this pop. And again, I'm just reading the side of the can. It doesn't mention anything about how they would achieve a caramel sensation. But my mind really goes to, yeah, a salted caramel. It's, I don't even know. I probably had candy like this, but I imagine if you took a Rolo's and you could just, microwave it for, I don't know, put a bunch of them on a plate, microwave them for 5-10 seconds, so you could take them out and sprinkle some salt on the top and then eat them. That's really, because you got the caramelization, you got the caramel, caramelized sugar, you got chocolate, it's milk chocolate, little bit of dark chocolate mixed in, more of the Hershey's special dark level, not super heavy cacao count. And then, yeah, this saltiness. This is one of the most as advertised beers I've had in a while. It is so spot on with what it's trying to be. Years in the can, I don't know, I've never had it fresh, but I can't imagine this was much better fresh. This is awesome. I don't get a ton of bourbon, and for how much oak I got in the aroma, not a ton of that. I think the bourbon is interwoven with the candiness of it all. Maybe adding some vanillin and things like that. But yeah, I don't get a ton of bourbon or a ton of oak in the sip, but But it's been a bit since I've had a sip. Let me go back in, see if I get that stuff more. Anything else I want to talk about with the experience. But man, this is a trip. Wow, like in a good way. I don't know if I've even said this. I really like the taste of this beer. All right, so that sip, everything I said before is still true, but I was able to get a little bit more of the core beer, a little bit more roast than I was initially getting. Definitely do get oak. It's more like 3/4 of the way through the sip, I can finally experience it, or that's when it like comes out. Because it's so much. Like I said, it's so man. This beer follows as advertised. It is so much that salted caramel chocolate thing, those Rolos. And then, yeah, like 3/4 away, it's like, wait, I do get some more roast. I do get some oak. And what I initially said about the bourbon, I think is really true. And I was really looking for it in that sip. It is interwoven nicely with the confectionery aspect of this beer. Excuse me. And it's not like a boozy bomb at all. I don't taste the 14%, which is dangerous. I could crush this. But it is that bourbon, in like a milkshake or a hot chocolate, or those candies where it's got the liquor inside the chocolate. It's more interwoven than that last one. Yeah, if you've ever had one of those like adult milkshakes where they put some sort of spirit in there, it's more of that. And maybe it's just because I've had peanut butter recently, like a super sweet nuttiness also to this, almost like a peanut-y nougat kind of an experience. This is a trip and a half. Yeah, more wood on that sip. That oak's coming through more and more every sip. Wow, this is good. That pop of salt every single time. That does not diminish. Wow. Wow, this is good. I mean, Free Will crushes it. Like, if you know, you know. But if you don't know, I'm telling you straight up, and now you do know. Free Will crushes it. Keith, man, thanks again so much. I really appreciate it. This was super fun and super delicious. Equal parts fun and delicious. Have you guys had this one before? Have you had any of the other Ralphius beers of any vintage? You have a favorite? You've had something else from Free Will? You've had a nice salted caramel stout? Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews, both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.